Okay. Hello, everybody. We are going to present to you our mathematical models presentation right now as soon as it wants to work. Okie dokie. Good evening, everybody. Our presentation is on number towers, and our grade level that we're working with, both me and Natalia, is kindergarten. So this is our number towers presentation by Natalia Zendejas and Skyler Patterson.
So in this presentation, we'll go over what number towers are, the phases of continuing student assessment, or called CSA, which includes concrete, semi-concrete, and abstract. And we will finish with a semi-concrete activity with a number tower with online manipulatives. So what are number towers? Number towers is a number sense activity where students could do different things. They could practice counting, they could practice addition. It works for number recognition, composing, and decomposing numbers. So the first phase is called concrete. And here, students use blocks as a physical representation of numbers. They get to engage with colors and shapes. And this activity, students can interact directly with manipulatives and understand abstract concepts, which it's part of one of the CSA phases. And this activity also encourages students to work independently and work with groups. So here are some examples that can be used for number towers, and the most widely known are tower mats or number tower mats that teachers can either print or buy in sets. Students here can use a number tower mat like this. They can use dice. They roll the dice, and whichever number they get, they start building their towers. Another way to use this number mats is for the teacher to just simply call out a number, and students find it in the mat and create their tower with their blocks.
Yeah, this is a super great activity, and we've seen so many variations of these number mats all over online. We've seen some themed ones for different holidays. So we've seen like jack-o'-lantern, pumpkin-y ones for Halloween, and we've seen some Christmas themed ones. So this is a great activity that you can pair with different modules or history lessons or anything just to kind of integrate math in there. And it's just great practice for them. So the next phase is the semi-concrete phase. And in this phase, students aren't necessarily using manipulatives anymore. They're actually creating their own. So whether this is drawing their towers or drawing their blocks to go along with their numbers, or maybe using different symbol indicators like hash marks, or drawing their own cubes to make their different towers. This is also the phase where students can use online manipulatives, like we'll show you later in our presentation, to model their number towers. So the main idea of the semi-concrete phase is that students are creating their own manipulatives or representatives instead of relying on the number tower manipulatives given to them by their teachers. And these are some examples of number tower semi-concrete representatives. So in the picture in the left, you can see these are the blocks that students would use to stack up to create their number towers. And instead of using these, they're transitioning to representational models. So over here, you could see how the blocks are reflected in their own drawings. And this is kind of another example using a little bit of an equation. So students have to create number blocks that would make up the number 9. So here a student would use 4 purple blocks to create their number tower plus 5 green blocks, and that would equal their sum of 9. And the next phase is the abstract phase, and this is where students really put it into context, and they transition from their use of manipulatives and representative models, and they begin to use actual equations like this one over here. It's a little bit covered up by us, but This concrete and semi-concrete practice has helped students to understand that a 3-block tower added to a 4-block tower is going to equal a 7-block tower, which in turn equals the same as this equation down here, which is 3 plus 4 equals 7. So it's really about transitioning students from this concrete use of manipulatives to then this representational kind of creating their own manipulatives into understanding that these transition into an actual equation that students can solve. So here's some examples of abstract practice. Obviously, at the kindergarten level, we have some equations like 3 plus 4 equals 7 or 2 plus 2 equals 4, stuff that is easy to work with kindergartners so that they just kind of understand the idea. Natalia, you're not talking.
Sorry, I apologize. So number towers can be used in all grade levels. For example, students can use number towers for addition. In the first picture here example, we can see that students, each empty box is the sum of the two numbers below. So this can help students with addition. Number towers can also be used for multiplication. The students form and solve equations from a pattern, and number towers can be as simple as just using them for number order. So students arrange numbers in order, whether front or backwards.
Yeah, this is a super cool concept, and it's really easy to translate this to any grade. So obviously, like these multiplication equations you would use in upper elementary, and there's so many ways that you could use this, which is super duper awesome.
Even for high school, like algebra.
Yeah. Yeah, even for algebra, I was just going to say
Mhm.
that we were doing some research and found some algebraic equations and how you would use number towers for that. So that's pretty cool. But now it's your turn. We have created an activity for you guys to follow along with. And below, if you want to look up the Diadax website, that would be great. We are using the Unifex cubes for this activity. So we'll go ahead and play this activity video, and we hope you enjoy it. Here's our activity video. Today, we're going to be working in the semi-concrete phase of number towers. This is a great example of an online resource that you can use for students to model this practice. So over to the right, we have this little chart with Unifix cubes, which are great manipulatives in the number towers. It's usually what you would use on top of the little chart maps that we showed in our video before, in our presentation before. So we'll just go ahead and get started. We have 3 basic counting numbers for our kindergartners. And then we have an equation at the bottom where they can use these Unifex cubes to represent the equation. So we'll just begin by doing the number 3. So we'll start by stacking our Unifex cubes together on top of the number 3 to equal our number 3 number tower. So we'll do our number 2 next. And this is pretty easy for students to just drag and drop these Unifix cubes. And same with the number 4. Hopefully we can fit all of these together. Okay, they're kind of out of frame, but it's all right. Let's open it up a little bit more. And then over here, we can use these Unifix cubes to represent our equation on the bottom of the screen. So we're going to count up our 5 green Unifix cubes for 5, and then we'll do 3 yellow Unifix cubes on top of our 3. And this is a great way for students to model the equation in their semi-concrete phase so that they can use these number towers correctly. So we can go over and use hatch marks or lines to represent each Unifix cube. So we know we have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have 6, 7, 8. So we know that this equation, the sum is 8. And this is just a great way to use online manipulatives to aid students in learning about number towers and learning their simple math. So, yeah. Okay, we hope you enjoyed that video and were able to follow along with us. Here's our activity video. Okay.
Sorry. So here are just some examples of some number tower mats that you guys can print out for your class if you wish. So this very simple sheet can be used with these blocks, and students will create their number towers. And just to end, we just need to let you guys know that number tower strategies are a great way to engage students in numerical approaches and concepts. It's suitable for all learners, and it could be taught in many different ways and in whatever way it works best for your classroom.
Thank you so much
So
for learning with us. We are so
thank you so
happy to
much.
have you.
Yes, thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh my God.